Hey Carol, can we talk? It's about us living together at my parents' place.
Hey Mark, not a good time. I'm headed to an important meeting. I really don't have time for this. Can we talk later? Besides, I thought we already talked about that. We agreed that we wouldn't live with your folks after getting married. You were okay with it. Why now?
Yeah, I know. But I got to thinking, I am the oldest, and also an executive at my father's company. I figured it would be kind of convenient to live with my folks.
How about we make it a weekend-only marriage? We're living at my house right now. We can get back to living like we did before we got married. I live here at my folks' place, you with yours, and we get together on weekends. No problem.
Are you serious? Why even stay married then? If we're married, I want us to live together, not just weekends.
You want me to live with your folks. You do realize I run a company, right? If something happens, my priority is to think of the company first and foremost. I have employees and they have their families is to take care of. As for your family, I can help out financially, but I can't look after them at all the time. We talked about this.
Yeah, I know, but if you love me, I want you to, care about them too. I know, maybe I'm being a little unreasonable. It's just that.
Come on, Mark. You know I love you. I wouldn't be marrying you if I didn't. And about your folks, I think highly of them. But my feelings for them and my work are completely different. Besides, both your parents are still working, right? And another thing, your younger brother and his family are living there too. How am I supposed to work full-time and also do household work? It's just not possible right now. Your brother's wife, Mary, will end up having to do most of the work. I'm sure she has her hands full as it is. If I live there and not help with the chores, even though I help out financially, just doesn't sit well with me. You know what I mean?
Don't worry about Marie. She loves to do housework and cook. It's almost like a hobby with her.
Really? Every time I go there, she seems kind of tired out. Didn't seem like she was enjoying any kind of hobby. Another thing I noticed was that your parents are always pretty well dressed, but Mary is always in, I wouldn't say rags, but close to it. Which kind of got me thinking, she's not being bullied in any way, is she?
Are you serious? Of course not! I've been living in the same house as her for 5 years. And I've never witnessed such a thing. How could you even think that?
Yeah, right. Sorry. Of course your folks would never do such thing. They've always seemed kind and considerate.
That's right. And Marie is a bit unusual. She said she has no interest in fashion.
Oh yeah? Anyway, about living there with you guys, that's on hold, okay? If you're so adamant about us living there, I need a pretty good reason or I'm not going to agree, just so you know.
Boy, you really are stubborn.
You should be grateful I'm even considering it.
Alright. I'll figure something out. You need a good reason. I'll find one.
I'm sorry to contact you so late. This is about you guys living with us. Are you still up?
Oh, hi Mary. No problem, what's up? Pretty late. Been working late? Sorry I contacted you earlier out of the blue. I guess you were tired up.
No problem. I was sort of busy with work and household chores. I wanted to contact you earlier.
I see. Are you okay? You're not overworked or anything, are you?
I'm fine. Pretty used to it by now. About you guys living here, Mark said that he wants you to live here with us soon. I really don't think you should go through with it.
Huh? Excuse me? What do you mean? Can you elaborate if you don't mind?
I'll explain, but could you not tell Mark that I talked to you about this? I'd appreciate it.
Yes, of course. Besides, I contacted you without Mark's knowledge anyway.
I came to this house about 5 years ago, as you probably know. Ever since then, I've been working non-stop, and no days off at all, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I came here with a reasonable amount of savings, but that's all gone, and I'm running the company all by myself. When I first arrived, the company was in the red for quite some time. They were barely making payments every month and was on the verge of bankruptcy. And as for the household chores and cooking, I'm responsible for all of it. Everyone in this family, even my husband, they don't help out at all. I'm just a slave to them.
Whoa! Hold it right there, Mary. Are you serious? Is that why you're always wearing those clothes? I heard that you were just not interested in fashion.
I just don't have the money to buy any nice clothes. That's why. I've been wearing the same clothes for the last 5 years. I couldn't afford to buy anything new ever since I arrived here. But the other family members seem to be indulging themselves. I'm sure you've noticed.
That's no environment to be in. I urge you to get out right now. I know, let me talk to Mark about this. He'll know what to do.
There is no escape. I'm stuck here. There's nobody out there that will help me. I'm a slave for life. As for Mark, he's seen the predicament I'm in. After all, we've been living under the same roof for 5 years. He's well aware of my situation. He's part of this family.
That can't be right. Mark is not like that. He's a bit timid, but he's kind and considerate. And about me living there with them, I figured his mom was nagging him about it.
That's all a front. Mark is only acting kind and considerate. You may not believe me, but
What is it?
I heard that you lost your parents a while back. They find people in situations like yours, create an environment where you have nowhere else to go, and entrap you and use you as they please. That's what they did to me, and they succeeded for 5 years, so they figured they needed another slave. Actually, I heard them talking about it. And you also own your own company. I'm sure that once you move in with them, they take everything, rob you blind.
But you still have a chance. I urge you to cut all ties. Get away from these people as soon as possible.
I'll be okay. I've given up any hope of escape.
No, you can't be serious. I can't leave you there all alone. Let's escape together.
That's good and all, but there's nowhere else to escape to. Even if you go to the police, they will do nothing. They'll just say it's a family matter and nothing will be done.
Well, in that case, I help you escape.
Huh? Seriously?
If you had not confided in me, I would have moved in with you. You saved me from grief. Now it's my turn to save you. Even if I didn't end up living with him, they may have found a way to rip me off. I'm sure of it. You were there for 5 long years. Thanks for warning me about them. So don't worry, Mary. You're in luck. I'm on your side, and we'll figure out how to get out of this awful mess.
Carol, are you being straight with me? Do you really believe what I'm telling you?
I always thought it was sort of strange. I don't know how to pout this, but you just seemed so out of place there. When I ask Mark, he never really gives me a straight answer. And the fact that he keeps breaking his promise and insisting that we all live under one roof, I started to get suspicious. So when you told me about this, I was actually not all surprised. Besides, if I don't believe you, how am I supposed to rescue you, right?
I have a confession to make, Carol. I was thinking that if you did eventually move in, my life would become a bit easier. That they would focus on you, and it would ease my pain. I'm sorry.
Then why didn't you tell me the truth? Why did you warn me?
Well, when you came to the house those few times, you were so kind to me. Nobody has ever been so kind to me for so long. I was just so happy that someone out there cared for me. That's when I realized that nobody else should endure such pain, that this should end with me.
You're a strong and intelligent woman, that's for sure. I want you to pay back for telling me the truth about them. I'm going to get you out of there. I guess we are not very good at picking guys, but we are way better than those people. Let's put our heads together and give them a taste of their own medicine. What you say?
Hey, Carol, it's you, isn't it? I know it's you. You're protecting Marie, am I right?
Protecting Mary? What are you talking about?
Don't act like you don't know. Marie is nowhere to be found. Everyone at home is frantically looking for her. You're harboring her. I know you are. Marie has no close family and no close friends. You're the only one that she would go to. Oh yeah, and you changed the keys on your house. Now why would you do that? My keys no longer work. I couldn't get in last night. I had to stay over at my folks' place. You're the only one she would go to. That's ample proof you have her. Am I right?
Yeah, that's right. And that means you know perfectly well why I'm protecting her. I almost fell for your dirty trick, Mark.
Dirty trick? What are you talking about? It's you that's being tricked, Carol. Don't you realize that? Marie is mentally deranged. She's had mental problems ever since she arrived 5 years ago. Don't go believing everything she says. She's making all of it up.
That's my decision whether I believe her or not. I had no intention of relying on your financial support, so I had no interest about how your family company was doing. But it looks like the company is not doing very well. But when I met you at the business party last year, you were all decked out in an expensive suit, and that Rolex, how much did that cost? You bought all that with money borrowed through Mary's name? Is that true? You're really pathetic, Mark. I wasn't smart either, coned by the likes of you.
I bought that suit myself, and I've had that watch for ages.
Then why is Mary always dressed in complete rags? Can you answer that? She says she's just like any other woman. She loves fashion and even wants to go to a hairstylist one of these days. Why did you lie about all that? You even said that house chores was her hobby. Were you serious?
So you're going to believe someone like Marie, who you hardly even know, and not me, your husband? You've completely lost your marbles, Carol!
Lost my marbles? It's your family that's crazy. You approached me knowing full well that I had no family, my parents passed years ago, and that I owned my own company, The Perfect Pre. But I'm sorry to disappoint you. I may not have a family, but I have plenty of friends and employees that respect me and would do anything for me. You picked on the wrong person, buddy. Oh, by the way, our marriage is over. I filed for divorce today.
Well, so be it! You turned out to be just another no-good bimbo with money! It was a big mistake marrying you anyway. I'm glad I can get rid of you. And thanks for getting rid of the debt-ridden little floozy you're harboring. Saved us the trouble of getting rid of her. We're already planning to find another perfect woman for our needs. We don't need a couple of losers. Marie's served her purpose. Good riddance to her. But I expect something in return, that I get my share of your assets. I have the right to all the savings in your account. We were married after all.
A wolf in sheep's clothing, finally revealing your fangs. Oh, and about Mary, I'm going to demand that you pay her compensation for all the years that you guys abused her. My lawyers are working on the details, so be on the lookout for that. As for our joint account, well, that was like for 2 months or so, not much there, so do as you like. Most of it will probably be gone by the time you pay of Mary.
Why do I even have to pay compensation to her? She's not my wife!
You said it yourself, Mark. You said she was mentally unstable. So I had a psychiatrist examine her, and it seems she was affected by all the abuse your family reaped on her. Mentally, she's sound, but emotionally, that's another story. I have a full report from the doctor that examined her. To make a long story short, she's suing you and your family for emotional distress. Did you know that you can get compensation for stuff like that? I had no idea.
There's no proof that we caused her to become emotionally unstable!
Why do you think I'm divorcing you? You really think I didn't do a little preparation before deciding to divorce you? I had Mary record as much conversation as she could while she was at your house. When we deemed it etiquette, I got her out of there and over to my place. Bet you had no idea. I heard all the recordings, and there was plenty there. Your family talking about me and how you guys were going to rob me blind and enslave me. I wouldn't be surprised if you guys even saw some jail time. Oh yeah, and one more thing. I'm going to have a friend at a major magazine to publish all this, so this never happens again. And I really wouldn't do anything stupid going forward.
Excuse me? Are you out of your frigging mind? Magazine? What magazine would write about some boring family? You make us sound like the Manson family or something.
Do you really run a company, Mark? You really should keep up with the times. Magazines are hand up for stories. Their sales have dropped. Everyone is reading stuff online. Most major magazines will write a story if we pay them enough. We could spruce it up any way we want. Give it a title like, Let's See, I Was a Slave for 5 years or something like that. Or maybe The Evil Family. That would draw plenty of readers.
You're really going to go that far, huh? But I know you. You won't do anything. You'll just end up hurting your own business. That's what you're most concerned about anyway.
Oh, I will go through with it. You can count on it. As a matter of fact, I really met with the chief editor. If I can help more girls, it's money well spent. The whole world will probably not even hear about it, but if enough people in the community read about it, well, you can imagine the backlash, I'm sure. Long as people in the neighborhood read about it, I'm fine with that.
Do you get a kick out of making me and my family suffer? I didn't think you were such a despicable person, Carol. You know what? I really feel sorry for you.
Please don't give me that. Playing the victim now? After all those years of treating Mary like a slave, stealing all her money, I've always believed I was an honorable person. If someone threatens me, I threaten them right back. If someone gives me respect, I respect them back. That's all I have to say to you, Mark.
Come on, Carol. It's not if I treated Marie that way because I wanted to. My folks made me do it. I had no way to refuse. You know how they are.
I'm glad that there's even a tiny bit of remorse left in you.
Does that mean you're going to forgive me? Let's start over. What do you say?
Sorry, that's not gonna fly. After the divorce goes through, show me that you're really sorry and do the right thing. If you really love me as you say, you wouldn't have a problem. First off, about Mary, a lawyer drew up all the papers and her divorce went through without a hitch. The recordings certainly helped. And with all the evidence, she was able to get a fair amount of compensation for the years of abuse she endured. Mark was able to get half of our savings account and few joint assets, and with all that money the family paid Mary her due. I doubt there was much left for Mark. Mary continued with her meeting with her doctor and gradually seemed to be recovering from her emotional trauma. Currently, she's staying with me and I told her she should just relax, but she insisted on helping me around the house. She even helped me with my business. I can never forgive that family for abusing and traumatizing such a kind and considerate woman like Mary. The ordeal with Mark's family made it into the magazine and they were the talk of the town, in a totally negative way, of course. It seems the company went bankrupt and their house was foreclosed. That magazine article really tore the family apart, it seems. I heard that they all went their separate ways. They've always relied on each other for survival, and now the family is no more. I wonder how they will survive. I'm pretty certain they're not leading such a joyous life. Some other family is living there right now. As for all the family members, they sort of disappeared into the night, kind of fighting for them. As for Mary and I, we're currently living together and to be honest, really enjoying ourselves. This house my folks left me is way too big for me alone. Anyway, it's as if I inherited a young sister. For a while, I was a bit depressed, figured I was just not fit for marriage. But I was able to rescue Mary because I was married to Mark. That's something, isn't it?